Hello students. In the last lecture we have discussed about the quantum numbers, right? Okay. And in this class now we are going to start a new topic, that is shapes of atomic orbitals. Shapes of atomic orbitals. Okay. And what is an orbital? First of all, do you have an idea about the orbital? Okay. What is the orbital? The orbital is nothing but where the finding of an electron is maximum according to the quantum mechanical model of atom. You call it as an orbital. Okay, if suppose this is a nucleus where the finding of an electron, suppose here the finding of an electron is maximum, here this place, so this place it is a maximum. Okay, so that this you call it as an orbital. Okay, what is this? These are the electron. The finding of an electron is maximum, but outside this, here it is very less. The chances are very less, so that it is minimum outside. Okay, so that this boundary, you call it as this total place you call it as an orbital. Okay, right. Now what we are talking about the atomic orbitals. Atomic orbital means where the orbitals are present in the atoms, okay, the orbitals are present in the atom, so that we are calling it as a atomic orbital. If the same orbitals present in the molecule, then you can say it is a molecular orbital. That we can discuss later. Okay, so now we are going to see the shapes of orbitals which are present in the atoms, okay, atomic orbitals, right? You know that how many types of orbitals present. You learned in the 10th class that generally the s orbitals, p orbitals, d orbitals and f orbitals can be present in the atoms, okay. So before going to that, just there is some topics. These, of course, these you don't require. The orbital wave functions, the orbital or radial wave functions, right? So we can go directly into the shapes or boundary surface diagrams of s orbital. Okay, first we see that how many types of orbitals can be present in the atom. So generally we know that s orbital, p orbital, d orbital and s orbitals. So these f orbitals can be present. Okay, so this is enough, but in this again we are going to see only these three orbital shapes. Okay, at this level this is enough for you. At the intermediate level, the shapes of s orbital, p orbital and d orbital, these we are going to be read in this chapter. Okay, so in that, the first one, the shape or boundary surface diagram of s orbital. Okay, so what is the shape of the s orbital? Generally it has a spherically symmetric in shape. Spherically symmetric means spherical, you know the ball, right? Spherical. So you say it is a circle, but in a three-dimensional structure, you see, in a three-dimensional, it is in a three-dimensional structure. The example is a ball. So it is a spherically symmetric in shape, like a ball. Okay, so how it is that, look at here, the 1s orbital, that means in the first shell there is a s orbital. Okay, and how the shape is that, generally it is in the spherical in shape, spherically symmetric. Okay, so that means here it is a round shape, right? It is not a circle, it is a three-dimensional, not a two-dimensional. Circle enti, it is a two-dimensional, but when you go to the sphere, it is a three-dimensional structure. Okay, so that showing in a two-dimensional paper is difficult, right? Okay, so you understand, here it is a three-dimensional, it is a sphere. and in that sphere the finding of an electron is maximum. What electron? The 1s electron. The 1s electron is maximum. Okay, ee circle undi chusara, in this circle it is maximum. So that this boundary, we are drawing a boundary around that maximum probability, and that total area, now you can call it as a orbital. What is that orbital? It is a s orbital. Okay, and that s orbital present in the first shell, so we are talking it as a 1s orbital. Okay, and next coming to the 2s orbital. So this is a 2s orbital. Okay, and inside look at here, this is the first shell and this is a second shell. Okay, so in the first shell there is a 1s orbital, this is a 1s, and in the second shell, this is a second shell, again it is in the spherical shape. Again the, okay, so again in the second shell the electron, 2s electrons revolve around the nucleus like this, but not in a particular path. Okay, so sometime here, sometime here, sometime here, here and here, like this they can move. Okay, if this is the nucleus and this is about the 1s. Okay, and next there is a 2s electron. So that 2s electron cannot revolve in a particular path. It can take either like this, like this, like some band, in a band, like some band. Okay, right? So this path, this total boundary, now you can say this is a boundary of the 2s electron, right? And this total boundary, now you can call it as a 2s orbital. 2s orbital. Okay, and so you see here there is a gap between this 2s orbital and 3s orbital, right? Okay, so this gap here, the finding of an electron is 0. The psi square is 0, because you see here is a empty space is there. So empty is nothing but there is no probability for the electron. Okay, so this you can call it as a node. We already learned this. This is nothing but a node. Node is nothing but where the probability of finding of an electron is 0. Okay, and this is an orbital, so where the probability of finding of an electron is maximum. Okay, so this is a 2s orbital. Come to the 3s again. So inside 2s, sorry, 1s, and next is a 2s, and then after the third shell. First shell, second shell, and this is the third shell. And again in the third shell, the electrons revolve around the nucleus. Okay, and shows the symmetrically, spherically symmetric in shape. Spherical, like sphere, like a sphere. Okay, right? So that is the reason we call the probability of finding the electron at a given distance is equal in all directions. Okay, around the nucleus, right? All direction, you see that x direction, or you see the y direction, or you see the pen along the pen z direction. Whatever the z direction, the finding of an electron at a given distance is always be equal in s orbitals. Okay, and the next important is the size of the s orbital. You know that when we increasing the shell number, first shell, second shell, third shell, when you go above, okay, so generally the size of the orbitals increases, right? So first shell, in the first shell the size of the 1s orbital is small, and in the second shell the size of the 2s orbital little bit bigger, and come to the 3s it is again very bigger than the 2s and 1s. Okay, so that the size of the s orbitals are always 3s size greater than the 2s than the 1s. Okay, and next come to the another one, that is a p orbital, or you can call it as a p subshell. Okay, what is the shell? Primary quantum number n, and what is the subshells? Indicates azimuthal l. Okay, so in that p orbitals, right, and generally that p subshells contains the 3 p orbitals. P subshell contains 3 p orbital, that is px, py and pz. What is this x, y and z? These x, y, z's are the coordinates. Okay, so that means there is a one p orbital along the x axis, there is a one p orbital along the y axis, there is a one more p orbital along the z axis. Okay, and what is the shape of the p orbital? Generally it is a dumbbell in shape. Okay, so what is the dumbbell? You know that when you do exercise you can see dumbbell like this. So it is a dumbbell shape. Okay, and the center one is a nucleus. This is a nucleus. Okay, so here in this region the finding of an electron is maximum. In this region only the finding of an electron is maximum. If this is along the x axis, then you can say that it is a px orbital. Okay, if suppose this is around the along the y axis, then you can say it is a py. If it is a z axis, then you can say it is a pz. Okay, right? So that means the electron, the p electron, the finding of p electron is maximum in this shape only. Outer that, above or below, here it is very less. The finding of an electron is very less. Okay, right? This is a x-axis. Now you can see like that. Here it is the x-axis, so the lobe, we call it as a lobe, this. Okay, so each p orbital contains two lobes that are on either side of the plane that passes through the nucleus. So where is the nucleus? Here is the nucleus, and the plane which passes, what is the plane? Here you assume here it is a plane, here it is a plane. Okay, so that means you are cutting the two lobes half, exactly into the half. Okay, so that plane, so you see here at this plane, this one lobe is at the right side, another lobe is at the left side. Okay, so this kind of structure you call it as a dumbbell shape, okay, and the size, shape, energy of these three orbitals are identical. Okay, right? Px, py, pz, the size, shape and energy all are same. Then what is the difference? Only the direction. Okay, the one p orbital is around the x axis, another p orbital along the y axis, and one more p orbital along the z axis. That's it. Only the axis is different, but the size, shape, energy all are same. Okay, all are same. Okay, so this is a one px orbital, another one is a py orbital, another one is a pz orbital, okay, and when you write all the three at a time, how it looks? One is px, another one is a py, another one is a pz. Okay, and don't be complicated, just I am going to see. So please try to understand one thing, no one will tell you this. If this is a nucleus, suppose you have a 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 3 electrons. Okay, that means in your atom there is a s orbital, 1s orbital, 2s orbital and 2p orbital. Okay, and further what will be the structure? The structure will be, this is a nucleus and here it is a 1s orbital. You know that this is a 1s orbital. Here it is a 1s orbital. So in this, two electrons can be present. This is a 1s, this is the first shell, and what is the second shell? The second shell is here, and this is all about the 2s orbital. You know 2s also has a spherical in shape, 2s orbital. Okay, so this is a 2s, and in this two electrons revolve, and whatever the 2p, in this 2p only one will be like this. Here it is a x-axis and here it is a y-axis, and you assume here it is a z-axis. Okay, So here one p orbital, and here is there is a one more p orbital. This is a px, and here it is a py orbital, right? And here is a pz orbital. So here it is along the x-axis. That means in the 2p3, you know that one will be in the px and one will be in the py and one will be in the pz. This is in the px, py and pz. And you assume one electron will be here. So one electron either here, this. Here only it can find. And one electron py here. And another electron here, pz. You can find here. Okay, so here is a px1 and here is a py1 and here is a pz1, like this. And you can't see the p electrons here, somewhere here, somewhere here, somewhere here, right? Is it okay? You cannot find these electrons other than this place. Okay, so now are you clear, right? So like this, if suppose this is a second shell, now you go to the third shell. Here is the third shell. So this is a 3s orbital. Here is a 3s orbital. So that means the 2px, the px orbital, the two lobes, one lobe and another lobe, both are exactly opposite from the lobe, from the center of the nucleus. Okay, here is the nucleus is there, right? Okay, so that is the reason we are writing like this. So one lobe is at the left side of the nucleus, another one is with the right side of the nucleus. Okay, I think this is a little bit difficult to understand, but it is not that again that much of difficulty to understand. Okay, and next is that the order of the energy and size of the p orbital. You know that generally the 2p orbitals are smaller in size than the 3p than the 4p. Okay, with increasing the shell, the size of the orbitals increases. Okay, already I told you here this is nothing but the 2p, and come to the 3p, maybe here it is bigger, 3p, and like this. Okay, and for p orbital, you know that the azimuthal quantum number, the L azimuthal quantum number is a 1, and for that the magnetic quantum number, what is that magnetic quantum number? ML, that is -1, 0, +1. You know that for L is equal to 1, the ML values are -1, 0, +1. In the last class you learned. And what is the -1? Px, and 0 Py, and +1 is for the Pz. Of course that depends on. And next is the shapes of d orbital or d subshell. What is the shape? Generally it has a double dumbbell shape. Okay, earlier you see one dumbbell, now you can see the two dumbbells, double dumbbell in shape. Okay, and how many orbitals can be present in the d shell, d subshell? There are 5 d orbitals, 5 d orbitals. Okay, what are those? dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, and dz square. Okay, so what is this dxy, dyz, dzx? Okay, that is for the dxy, dyz, dzx, the lobes lie in between the corresponding axes. So that means dxy means whatever the two lobes, whatever the two dumbbells that will lie between the x and y plane. So here assume it is the x axis and here is the y axis, and the two lobes lies in between the two axes, like this. If suppose this is the x axis and this is the y axis, whatever the two lobes, this is the one lobe and this is another lobe. Earlier px along the axis, but here these lies in between the axis, in between. Okay, these are in between the corresponding axis. Okay, this you call it as a dxy. If suppose if this is a y axis, this is a z axis, then simply this is nothing but dyz, dyz. Okay, very similar to that. If that is a xz axis, the lobes lies in between the x and z, then you can say that it is a dzx. Okay, but come to the dx square minus y square and dz square, the lobes lie along the axis like a p, along the axis. Okay, so for the dx square minus y square, the lobes, here it is a x axis and here is a y axis. So that means the lobes lies along the axis. Okay, earlier in between, now along the axis, along the axis. So you call it as a x square minus y square. This is a, here the lobe is along the x and y, so you can call it as a x square minus y square. Then whatever the dou z square, so for the dz square, there is a z axis and one lobe will be aligned along the axis. This is a one lobe, and the another lobe takes some spherical shapes, another lobes, so that takes some spherical shape like this. You see one dumbbell which revolves around the first orbit, around the first. Okay, so that means one another lobe takes the like some planet. What is the planet? Saturn planet, right? Okay, so like this, here the another lobe, this is a one dumbbell and this is a another dumbbell. Okay, two dumbbells revolve around, one dumbbell is along the z, another one revolve around it. Okay, this is the shape of dz square, okay. And you know that for d orbital, the azimuthal quantum number, you know that L is equal to 2 only, L is equal to 2. Okay, so for that, for the L is equal to what are the magnetic quantum numbers, that is from -2 to +2 including 0, -2 to +2 including 0. Okay, so generally for the d orbital the L value is 2, so that the minimum value of n is 3. Okay, L is equal to means where the L is equal to present, suppose you have n is equal 1, n is equal 2 and n is equal 3, and where the L is equal present, generally for each n value the L values are 0 to n minus 1, 0 to n minus 1. So that means L is equal to means maximum 3 minus 1. Okay, that means in the third shell only the L is equal 2 is present. In the n is equal 2 only the L values are 0 comma 1, and in the n is equal 1 only the 0, but here in the n is equal 3, 0 comma 1 comma 2, so these values are present. That means from n is equal 3 only the L is equal 2 value starts. That means why we are telling all these things is that whatever the d orbital, that will start from the third shell, not from the second shell or not from the first shell. ఫస్ట్ షెల్లో ఏముంటుంది, ఓన్లీ ఎస్ ఆర్బిటాల్ ఉంటుంది. సెకండ్ షెల్లోకి వచ్చేసరికి ఎస్ ఆర్బిటాల్ ప్లస్ పి ఆర్బిటాల్, అండ్ థర్డ్ షెల్లోకి వచ్చేసరికి ఎస్, పి అండ్ డి ఆర్బిటాల్స్. అంటే డి ఆర్బిటాల్స్ అనేది దే విల్ స్టార్ట్ ఓన్లీ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఎన్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 3. ఎన్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ అంటే 3 కంటే లోపు అవి ఉండవు. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు సే. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్ అబౌట్ ద shapes of orbital. And one more thing, the order of energy and size of the orbitals again. So again the size and energy will be increases from third shell to fourth shell, fourth shell to fifth shell. Okay, so that means ఏవైతే ఆర్బిటాల్స్ డి ఆర్బిటాల్ థర్డ్ షెల్లో ఉన్న వాటి కంటే ఫోర్త్ షెల్లో ఉన్న వాటి యొక్క ఆర్బిటాల్స్ యొక్క ఎనర్జీ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. అండ్ కంపేర్ టు అగైన్ ఫిఫ్త్ షెల్లో ఉన్న వాటి ఆర్బిటాల్స్తో పోల్చు, right? So the d orbitals in the third shell has a less energy than the orbitals on the fourth shell than the orbitals on the fifth shell. orbitals on the fifth shell. Okay, right. And there is some important question here. Look at here that generally the number of nodal planes in some exams they're going to ask how many number of nodal planes can be present for the s orbital. Nodal plane means nodes. The finding of an orbital is finding of an electron is 0. So where the 0 for the s orbital? You see, for the s orbital, is it any? Look at here, s orbital. No, right? So in the s orbital, in all direction, that the finding of an electron is symmetric, so that the nodal planes are 0. But come to the px, so there is a chance, right? If this is the x-axis and here is a low, and here is a, you can find the electron. Here you can find the electron, but here at the center it is 0. The psi square here it is called 0. So that means here there is a plane. What is the plane? Here it is a x-axis. So what is this plane? This plane is a yz plane. The plane is yz plane. Okay. So here you can find the electron in this lobe. So the remaining space, this space is a empty space. Okay. And where the finding of an electron is 0. So this you can call it as a node. But ఈ node ఎలా ఉంది on some plane. What the plane? The plane is going the yz plane. The yz plane. Okay, this is a y direction and here is a z direction. So there is a yz plane. Okay, along the yz plane there is a node. There is a node. Okay, like that one. So here is a yz plane and there is a one node for the px. Okay, and come to the same thing for the py. You know that the lobes will present along the y-axis. So obviously along the xz direction there will be a node. Similarly for the pz, so there is a electron cloud along the z-axis, and obviously along the xy plane there is a node. Okay, and come to the dxy. It has a two nodal planes. Okay, so anta confusing ga unte let us simple. The nodal planes are not that. Here it is equal to the L. The nodal planes are equal to the L. So for the S, you know the L value is 0. For the P it is a 1. For the D it is 2. For the D it is 2. Simple. Okay, but అవి ఎలా వస్తాయి అని అంటే అర్థం చేసుకోవడానికి ట్రై చేయండి. Okay, you know that generally the dxy I am drawing dxy. So here it is a dxy, right? Okay, right. So here in this plane, along this plane there is a empty space, and again along this plane there is a empty space. Okay, so what is this plane? Here is a x and here is a y. But plane means plane contains two axes, right? So xz it contains and yz also it contains. Okay, so that means along the, for the dxy along the yz axis and xz axis there are two planes are possible. There are two planes. Okay, here one direction, here is along this and along this there is no finding of an electron. Okay, so that along this xz plane and yz plane the planes are whatever the finding of electron is 0, so that you call it as a two nodes. Similarly for the dxz, dyz and dx square minus y square also you have a two nodes along the xy zy, xy zx and below the yz xz planes. Okay, so these are important with respect to the higher examination like IIT, NEET or JEE, right? So this is all about the shapes of atomic orbitals.